For many women today, getting a man isn't the problem. However, keeping the man, getting his commitment and that long-term investment is what seems to be the most challenging and heart-wrenching part. And the biggest reason why a woman may be in a situation where they're with a guy and they're being intimate, but she's not getting his commitment, she's not getting that investment, is because of one thing. She's yet to add value to his life in meaningful ways. Some women often think as long as she's attractive, spends time with him and has sex with him, that's adding value. And while he'll definitely enjoy these things, the truth is for a man of value, it isn't. Reason being, because that's what every other woman will be doing with him. It's understanding that a man looking for a partner will be choosing to commit to the woman who brings value to his life in ways other women don't. So here are 5 ways to add value to his life that will make him want to invest in you and only you. And the good news is most women don't approach dating this way. And so this is really going to make him see you as a catch. The first thing is giving words of encouragement. Encouragement isn't about a pat on the back or a few words of praise. It's an energy that ignites passion, fosters growth, and builds resilience. When a man receives genuine encouragement from a woman, it's like fuel for his soul, propelling him forward on his purpose. Encouragement instills belief. It's a reminder that someone sees potential in you, even when you may doubt yourself. In a world filled with challenges and obstacles, especially for a man who wants to provide protection and frame for you to strive for greatness, showing verbally that you're in his corner can make all the difference in how he feels when he's around you. And ultimately, that's what matters. We may not remember what people say exactly, but we remember how they made us feel. When a man knows that a woman believes in him, it empowers him to step out of his comfort zone and take on new challenges. It emboldens him to pursue his dreams with conviction, knowing that even if he stumbles along the way, you are there to help lift him on his feet, so that he can keep moving forward for you both. Now, don't get me wrong. This isn't for you to be his mother, but the feminine has the power to nurture resilience. Life is full of ups and downs, twists and turns. No matter how confident he is, how successful he is, or how capable he is, there will be moments when it feels like the weight of the world is pressing on his shoulders heavy. And it's in these moments that he sees whether he can count on the woman to be a place of inspiration. In these times, you're reminded you're not alone. So help him persevere in the face of adversity so that he can succeed for the both of you. Become a source of positive energy for him, and he will no doubt want to do everything to keep you by his side. The next way to add value is know when to give him space. The feminine seeks intimacy and connection. So if you're in your feminine, if you're a woman who sits in her feminine and you choose to be the feminine role in the relationship, it is completely understandable that you want closeness. You want to spend more emotional time with him. You want him to be sharing things with you and you want to be sharing things with him. However, we have to understand that the masculine, the polar complementary opposite that of the feminine, the masculine seeks direction, ambition, and freedom. And part of a man having freedom is not freedom from you as the woman, but freedom within himself is allowing yourself to accommodate when he needs time for himself. The relationship a man has with his time is the same relationship a woman has with her kitty cat. It is something that you want to share with him, but it has to be willingly given. And something men don't really admit is that sometimes a relationship can feel a little bit claustrophobic at times. And the reason it can feel quite claustrophobic isn't because he doesn't want to be there, but the reality is when it comes to relationships, women tend to have a higher need for emotional capacity than men typically do. For a man, a relationship requires him to invest a lot of emotional effort because in comparison to men, women have more emotional needs than he does. And so for her to feel happy in the relationship, they need a man's emotional presence. Relationship-orientated men know this. A woman wants you to care about her feelings. She wants to be listened to. She wants him to do things with her, spend time with her. And so for many men, there could be times he feels he has to maybe give up on certain things that he would usually like to do in order to give that time for her. And for the woman he chooses, he will do that, of course, because that's what makes her happy. Now, yes, men do like closeness. Yes, they do like emotional time. I'm not saying that they don't, but they just don't have as great a desire or need for it like most women do. His needs come more in the other areas like physical intimacy, like respect, like loyalty. I read this metaphor the other day, which really articulates how many men perceive relationships. And I'll make this clear, not how many men see women, but how many men see relationships. A man getting into a relationship is kind of like getting a puppy. He wants and loves the benefits of taking the puppy to the park, play fighting with it, having it around other people that he loves, the affection that he gets from it. But having a puppy requires a lot of responsibility. There's a responsibility to look after the puppy, to take it for a walk twice a day, to clean up after it, consider it when making plans of any kind, to take it to the vet. Having a puppy is actually taking on a lot of responsibility. And men do take on a lot of responsibility in a relationship to fulfill the woman's needs, and that takes effort from his part. It's not effort because he doesn't want to do those things, but it's effort because he wants the effect of what those things have on you, because they make you happy. And so sometimes a man just needing some space is him needing a break from taking the responsibility of fulfilling your needs within the relationship, because generally speaking, women tend to have more needs from a relationship in comparison to men. This is why, statistically speaking, men are easier being alone by themselves. A lot of the time, the lone wolves of the world tend to be men rather than women. And even if a woman's not in a relationship, having a community, a circle of friends and connections is something that she will still prioritize. Now, there's an argument to be made that men could do more of this, and maybe that would actually be quite beneficial for them. But in general, there's a high need for it in women, so men want to fulfill that in the relationship. So know that when you are able to give a man space, understand that it's not a rejection of you, it's a value add for him. The best way to add value in a feminine way is help him out with his errands. If you desire the kind of man who is a masculine man of value, who provides security and frame for you to thrive as the feminine woman in his life, the only question you need to ask yourself is, how can I make his life easier? What could I do that's going to help take some of the pressure off? A masculine man knows that a part of him being a man of value is taking responsibility. A lot of the time, this looks like not just responsibility for himself, but responsibility for others, including the woman in his life. This all comes with a certain amount of pressure on him to be able to deliver. You'll be thinking, when's the next time you need something? When's the next time he can sort you guys going away together? Can he cover the bills? Do you feel safe? He'll be looking at the immediate future of what that looks like for you both, working towards that and putting things in place to facilitate that.
Hey, you know me, I always want to give great value. And so as a thank you for watching this episode, I want to give you the secret sauce that makes a man want to desperately commit to a woman. It's not great sex, and it's not how hot you are. It's the value you bring outside of the bedroom, which is why I'm giving you my guide, the 5 feminine ways to add value to a man's life that makes you irreplaceable to him. Absolutely free. Just click the link below and it's yours. Now back to the video.
And so as the woman in his life, you can add value by taking some easy things off his plate. When he has to pick up something from the post office, offer to do that for him. If you know you're both going to someone's birthday, tell him you'll sort the gift out so he doesn't have to think about it. If he needs to go get some clothes dry cleaned, tell him you're going to go get it done with your dry cleaner and bring it back at the end of the week. Now, yes, this looks like you are serving him, and you'd be right. This is you serving him. But understand, he is serving the bigger picture, very much the picture you expressed that you wanted to him, which is the future that you have together. It's not like he's lazing at home doing nothing. He's out there working hard and diligently. And if this guy isn't, then why are you choosing him, sis? And these things are not hard things to do. They're just errands that elevate space in his mind. Being able to give a man mental space by sorting the minor errands that need to be done is one thing men absolutely adore and appreciate when a woman does this, and he really starts to see her as an asset in his life. Next thing you can do to add great value to a man's life is be the nurturer in his home. Now, let's be honest. If a man is not living at his parents' house, it means he has his own space or even has his own home, which means he already knows how to take care of himself and his home. However, it is still a massive value add when a woman comes and nurtures his home. This could be helping dust the place, cleaning the kitchen, folding and putting his washing away, feeding that belly of his. Maybe you get some scented candles to bring some aroma into the space. It's amazing how something so small can make a woman go to the next level in how he sees her. This isn't about you being his maid or, God forbid, his mother. It's about you showing you want to contribute to the space that you both spend together in the home. This nurturing quality is something men deeply desire in the woman he's going to choose, especially if he's a masculine man. Because while he can do these things and will do these things himself, there's nothing quite like a feminine touch. Now, you may be thinking, but Kit, I don't want to mother him. And me doing these things for him around his home is like me being his mother. Well, I want to ask you something. Let's assume you would like to choose a man who can provide and protect you, right? Because that's what masculine men do for their women. Let me ask you, who was the person who provided, but more importantly, protected you growing up? For most little girls, it was their father. It was your father who provided and protected you. So if you look for that in a man, does that mean you want a man to be a father to you? Or does it actually mean you're looking for a man who has the qualities that contribute to being part of a great household? This is exactly the same thing. You're not mothering him by doing these things. You're demonstrating and bringing an amazing quality men value that would contribute to a great household. Let me share something with you that really shows how much of an impact these small things have. My closest female friend has never struggled to get serious commitment from a man. Never. While her boyfriends may have changed over the years, and in which we have a good laugh about, men that she's dated have always wanted to get into a serious relationship with her and even marry her. Now, yes, she's a lovely person, but there's something I noticed which really made it clear to me why men always wanted to put a ring on her finger. Sometimes I'll have a few people over for drinks, food, and games, in which she's always one of them, right? Because she's a close friend of mine. And, we'd be eating, we'd be drinking, laughing, all that good stuff, having fun as a group. By the time we'd all gone to bed or passed out, plates of food and snacks have been left out, cushions and blankets maybe all over the place, half-empty glasses of wine or Baileys. But whenever I woke up in the morning, she had cleared everything up. She'd put the food in the bin, she'd cleared the dishes away, put the cushions back, wiped the table, all of that. Now, this is a woman who I'm not even dating. Yet she still did that for my home. She's like a sister to me and she doesn't owe me any of that. Yet she still does that and has always been like that. This feminine side, this quality in her comes from, is no doubt why men have always wanted to claim her for the long term. Meanwhile, you even suggest this to a few women today, to do this for the man that she actually desires, and all hell breaks loose. And before you know it, things end because he wasn't ready. But then suddenly he's in a relationship with another woman just 2 months down the line. Look, please understand, I'm only here to tell you what works. What you do with this wisdom, that's up to you. Next way to add value is be a place of peace for him. One of the best things a woman can do for a man is be the feeling of home. This looks like love, affection, and peacefulness. Be his break from the world rather than being someone adding to the chaos. There's nothing a man craves more than coming home to the arms of a loving woman after a stressful day or a stressful week. It's very typical that how a woman may decompress is by sharing all the things that happen in her day. The good, but especially the not so good. That's why women really appreciate when her man says, "Tell me about your day." It becomes an opportunity for her to release any energy and emotions that she's picked up from the events that day. Whereas a man typically wants to have some quiet time when he comes in. He wants to put his stuff down, wash his hands, get into some comfy clothes, and let out a sigh as he sinks into the sofa. You may really want to talk to him about something, or even unload about your day, but give him the space to decompress. Allow him to settle himself and settle his thoughts, and just have a moment of stillness. And once he's had that, then feel free to ask him about how his day was or share what's going on with you. It's an honest mistake for a woman to just unload on a man the second he walks through that door. And while she may feel better for it, it disrupts his psyche of ending a long day. And then what happens when a man feels he can't just decompress at home? He starts to do it somewhere else. Maybe at the pub, maybe at the gambling bar, just somewhere where he feels he can have his space without having to engage in anything. And there's one other pillar to being a place of peace for a man. One thing my grandmother said, which was invaluable to the 50 odd years of her marriage to my granddad, is to choose your battles. You don't have to bring everything up to be addressed. If it's important or something that is really bothering you, then yes, of course, bring it up and address it. But if it's something minor, like maybe he forgot to put the seat down, maybe he left a dish out, or maybe he didn't water the plants, but if he provides for you, makes you feel safe, makes you feel heard and seen, is honest with you, and you're honest with him, loves you and is actively planning his future with you, does him leaving a dish out really matter in the grand scheme of things? Because believe it or not, there are many things that men let go of in order to keep a peaceful relationship. More things than sometimes women will realize. And men value a woman who can do the same in return. They say home is where the heart is. And if you begin to be his home, you will inevitably become his heart.
Well, thanks for tuning in. And if you're ready to take your love life to the next level, then be sure to join the Kit Angels community in the link below. Let's stay connected. See you next time.